Hello chess lovers, Soren here, and in this video I want to share with you a very impressive chess miniature which was played by Estonian chess player Paul Keres against Verbac. The game was played in 1933 and this was a correspondence game. At the time of this game Paul Keres was around 17 years old, and I have to tell you that while still studying at high school, Keres was playing correspondence games extensively. At one stage he had 150 correspondence games going simultaneously, and it is estimated that at that time he played around 500 correspondence games. But before starting our game, make sure that you are subscribed in order not to miss my future uploads. So in this game, Keres had white pieces and he opened up with d4. Verbac responded with d5. And e4, we have the aggressive black mark Gambit. As you know, after e4, the main line goes like this. Black can accept the gambited pawn, and then after knight c3, knight f6, this time white is playing f3, but probably these were uncharted territories for black, and after e4, black decided to transpose to French defense and played e6. Bishop e3. Keres is choosing the Alapin Gambit. As you know, in here the most popular moves are knight c3, knight d2, or e takes d5, but in our game we have bishop e3, together with Schlechter variation. These lines are considered to be slightly offbeat and can be rarely seen. Here we have bishop e3, so Keres insists on sacrificing his central pawn, which finally black accepted, and knight d2. With this move, white is coming after the pawn on e4 and is maintaining the possibility of playing c3 in case you try to pin the knight. f5, black decided to stick to the one pawn, but this is weakening black's king side. Instead, it was better to play knight f6. This is a more solid continuation, but in our game we have f5 and f3. So Keres is sacrificing a pawn, but in return is managing to get lead in development, and also is leaving black with a weakened pawn structure. Bishop d3, c5, white castled kingside, although Keres could even capture on c5, and in our game we have castling kingside, c takes d4, knight takes d4, and f4, which is a mistake. Well, it was better to proceed with the development, but f4 is on the board. Of course, you can't capture on f4, you will lose your knight. But Keres decided to capture on f4 with the rook, allowing e5. e5 is on the board, but it turns out that the one who will now suffer heavy losses is black. Here we have bishop b5 check by Keres, although I have to tell you that it's strange that during a correspondence game Keres missed rook takes f6. With this move he is removing the defender and then is starting to harass black king. And then bishop c4 can follow, queen f3, he takes d4, bishop takes d4 with a decisive attack. Or after rook takes f6, if queen takes f6, then this time knight d4 will follow, and again black is facing serious problems. Where are you going to put your queen? If queen b6, then queen h5 check. Yes, all this looks very unpleasant for black. But let's go back to our main game. So after e5 we have bishop b5 check and king f7. Well, bishop d7 is better, although even in this case black has little chances of saving the position. In here finally white can go for an exchange sacrifice and then can announce a check from h5. Yeah, white is doing great and black is in trouble, despite the fact that white is exchanged down, but white has a ferocious attack. In our game after bishop b5 check we have king f7 and queen h5 check. Finally, queen h5 is on the board, although we see this without an exchange sacrifice, relying on the pin g6, bishop c4 check, king g7. This allows white to checkmate black king e3 in the most spectacular fashion, although even if king e8, then this won't help black. White can capture on f6. Well, if you go for the exchange of queens, then you can't save this position. White has an extra piece or if I move like queen takes e3, then simply king h1, and just no way out. This black king stuck in the center of the board can become an easy target. But let's go back to our main game. So after bishop c4 check, where is that bishop c4? Yes, we have king g7, and as we have reached the critical position, please pause the video and try to find checkmate in 3. Ready? In here, Paul Keres announced a check from h6 and sacrificed his queen. Did you find this spectacular move? King takes h6 by Verbac, and rook h4, double check, and after king g7, we have a magnificent Boden's mate on the board. Look at this beauty, guys. A very unique final combination and a brutal checkmate, which I hope that you enjoyed greatly. In the end, a thematic chess puzzle where the task is to find mate in 2, and I'm sure that in a blink of a second you found the solution. Thanks for watching. Here are more suggestions for you. Feel free to check them out as well. I will see you in my next video. Take care.